Hello, I hope you all are doing well. Thank you so much for being here. I just wanted to pop in quickly. I'm trying to do videos a little bit more frequently so I don't forget all these little nuggets of information I keep collecting. And to kind of just take you on my healing journey with me. These energies have been so incredible. I've really just been flying with the level of information and wisdom that just seems to be flowing through recently. So it's really, really exciting. I spoke about this the other day, but the fact that there has been so much work that's been put in over all of these years that we're now finally starting to see come to fruition. Couple weeks ago, this idea of the hero's journey was coming up for me several times. It was kind of insane, actually, how many times I was seeing it referenced. I saw something the other day talking about the fool's journey. I don't know what the difference is between the two, but certainly I feel like fool's journey resonates with me a little bit more because I feel like I have no clue what I am doing. It's like starting from nothing, starting from scratch. And essentially, that really is, I think this weekend is like starting from what feels to me like this origin, this 0 point. It's even come to mind the idea of the origin story, right? We see this with the superheroes and all these kinds of things, but really this is our origin story because we're starting over, we're starting in the new energy, we're able to let go. Anything that we see that doesn't resonate with us, we're able to let go of it. And that is what is so exciting. Of course, we have to have that ability, that courage to take a look at ourselves and to see honestly what it is that we're willing to give up, right? So we can always make that choice to stay where we are, but the beauty of it is that that potential is there. This primordial field of infinite potential resides here now for each of us. So I just want to talk a little bit about this theme that seems to be coming up because we're starting to see how our patterns, they're kind of flying up in our face a little bit, right? Where they're just so very clear. And I had spoken about this a little bit, about how I'm seeing all these patterns now starting to come to light. Where, we say programs, we say fear programming, we talk about this kind of mind control stuff, but what we're really starting to experience is the root of all of it, where we're able to, it's coming up as a program to us. So we have that choice point now where when we start to engage in a behavior and we get a little bit of this signal, right? Like, oh, wait a minute, this is something I've been doing. This is something I don't want to continue to do. We're getting that kind of window of opportunity, that expansiveness now to take this pause to really bring in the consciousness of what we've learned over perhaps like our entire previous life here, right? Really is what this is about. So I guess the older you are, the more wisdom you have, the more you can apply at this point, which is really wonderful. So something that happened for me today, I was engaging in an exchange via text today, and it's I would say a problematic relationship for me. One I always kind of struggle with because I seem to have these very visceral reactions to anything, any kind of communication that I receive with this particular person. And I was talking about this the other day. Like sometimes I feel like, and I'm probably going to go back on everything I said yesterday, right? So it all just kind of depends for the situation, the perspective that we're looking at it at that particular point in time. So yesterday I was saying like, wow, I wonder if these energies or these feelings that come through me are these like psychic impressions that I'm just not giving enough credit to, right? So today I received a message. It wasn't even really a message. It was just like a statement, right? And I could feel, it was almost like, when there's like well, it's never happened to me, but in a movie, right, where there's like a dog or a wolf, or like you encounter something you're not really supposed to encounter out in the wild, and they kind of like stand there and they check you out, and then you can start to feel them like sneering and growl. That's what I felt like. All of a sudden I was like, I don't want to react. I want to be in my light. I want to be like, no, I'm going to be like, which is a problem for not just me. I see a lot of people struggling with this, right? Thinking being in the light and being in my alignment means I don't have a reaction. It means I stay calm, cool, and collected. But a lot of times what that also means, we are essentially bypassing or suppressing the emotion. So we have to be careful that we're not doing that. So I kind of said to myself, you know what? I'm tired of being this person that reacts. This is bullshit. Like, I'm really sick of this. So I'm going to take a step back. And what I realized was, okay, first of all, that emotion, that was just an energy that came through my body. And I kind of sat there and realized, okay, I actually don't have to react to this. So I took a step back and I thought, I'm just going to experiment here and see what happens. Because oftentimes for me, I feel like I have got to respond. I have got to counter this, what feels like, it actually feels like an attack to me. It's not from the other person, right? But because I'm perceiving this situation, again, we go back to childhood, we go back to the patterning that we have taken on, the program we've taken on, which fits to the mold of this specific pattern, right? So that when someone says something that triggers us, it's completely subconscious. Well, at least initially, right? So this is the work, is to figure out what exactly was it in that statement, or was it the way something was said, or what is really happening with this trigger? So I had to pause. But I was amazed. I was like, see, this is the thing about the energies, right? Everyone keeps saying like, oh, things are easier now. We can let go, let go, let go, release the karma, da, 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 all this stuff. And it's like, well, how does it happen? To me, it just feels like the energies now are giving us this space to take this pause. It's like bringing out this almost kind of laboratory, right? Where I'm like, hold on a second, let's take a look at this from this angle. Let's look at it from this angle. Can we do this differently? Can we react differently? Can we change our patterns? And the answer is yes. So I was a little bit shocked. I just sat back. I'm like, okay, I'm just going to put this down. I'm going to work on this, and I'm going to wait to see how I feel in a few minutes. Oh my God. Like, it was so nice to feel like I was actually in control of myself. Not only that, but because I took this, what do they call it? Like a pregnant pause or something like this, right? Like because you can still feel this kind of like, what are you going to do with it? Which way are you going to go? What kind of choice are you going to make? This is where your free will comes in, right? But this is where your higher wisdom and your higher consciousness as a light being now is starting to integrate fully with your body, with your consciousness, with your emotions. So you are in effect training. I've always said this journey of either whatever you're on, right? Whether it's ascension, awakening, remembering, it's a journey of unbecoming. It's a journey of unbecoming our patterning and our programming. You have this ability to take this pause and allow the light to come in and to intermingle and start to make these cellular changes within you. So I stepped back, took a few minute break, which is unusual for me. Usually I feel I have to respond right away. And then I even said, you know what? I'm going to wait till later in the day to respond. And I thought, it went, because this is a scenario that comes up over and over and over again. And for me, what always happens in these situations and in certain types of relationships is that I feel very attacked by the actions of people I know nothing of, right? But it's like, I feel like when this person is telling me these things, that it's a roundabout way that energetically is trying to interfere. And it may be very true that these energies, right? Because we know they do this across time, space, and dimensions. They can interfere with our energies, with our intentions, right? So it's not to say that that doesn't actually exist and that isn't true, but I'm in this time and space, and so is this other person. So are a lot of these other people that are in this scenario, right? But my first and foremost priority is to my patterning and programming. And what we know, it's scientifically proven, right, that one energy field can affect another, especially if they are deeply connected. We've known this for a long time. It's in all kinds of research. It's even with women, right? Like their cycles will sync up. Like, why does that happen? The energy fields, they respond to one another, right? And I remember in the very beginning of this, when I first started my journey, this kind of love and light work, and my teacher would say this. She would say, once you start to change, you will see your parents change. You will see your children change. It will just happen. And it didn't happen for me ever. But again, we're on a little bit of a different journey, right? We're here to really dig deep and release these patterning. So this is the year, right? This year of clarity, this year of of really, it's, to me, it's production of putting, what's the expression? The axe to the grindstone or the pedal to the metal or whatever this is. But we are finally seeing this kind of take root and to ground in. Grounding in really is what this is. So I decided, you know what, I'm not going to address the fact that I feel there's interference going on here, because it's also not just me, right? I know now, I have the sense we are very deeply connected. We are very deeply supported by these energies that are coming in. So it's even within my ability and my range to be able to say to the powers around me, that are within me, however it might work, however you feel it works for yourself, I need assistance here. Take note of this, right? This is something I do quite frequently, especially when I will wake up in the middle of the night with something that is bothering me, because I can oftentimes feel the points at where these energies are coming in, right? Where I start to wake up with these thoughts, or I'm waking up and I'm kind of wrestling almost physically with something that's going on internally, and I will be like, take note of this. Whatever's going on here, this is important and it needs to go. And essentially, to me, this is our priority, is to notice where these places of contention are within us. So we don't have to necessarily know how to work the energy, like, okay, bring this in, bring that in, and let's, shift and pivot this technically, right? It is really enough to start. You have to start where you are, right? And so the first place that we are is that we feel these things, and we feel that they're unpleasant. So that's where we start. And just doing that act of acknowledgement, right, is really enough to start to pull in all of your support, to really start to say yes to the universe, to say yes to the light, to say yes to this magnificent shift that is occurring. I get a little bit distracted when I look at myself, so that's why I'm always kind of looking off. So, and to me, these are the freaking miracles, to be able to actually change your behavior. Like, this is what we talk about, right? Even with manifestation and like developing new habits and things like this, these are the hardest things to change: the human patterning, the human repetition, the human automatic response, right, through the emotions, and then the behaviors that we do to follow that up. So we really have this just gorgeous, beautiful opportunity now to start to, again, take these pregnant pauses, to allow the light to gather within us, right? To exude the consciousness through our cells of the light, to bring in the consciousness of the light into ourselves. I know it's been a weird journey. We're shifting. In the past, it was very much just about energy, right? Like, let's set up the energy, let's set up the grids, let's set up the fields, let's get this ready. And, there's always been this hope of like, yeah, eventually we're going to start to see this coming in, but nobody really knew how it was going to feel, how it was going to work, what it was going to look like. And suddenly, over the weekend, here we are, voila, it's happening. So, and most important, I would say, if you're still feeling this out, not feeling very confident, it's internal. It is within you. Your body will guide you. Your consciousness will guide you. You will get the messages. You will see the video. You will, find the book. Someone will send you a message or send you a video or whatever, a link to whatever it is that you need to see. And in the past, I would laugh at this, and that's the kind of shit that would piss me off, because it did not happen for me. There were no synchronicities. Everything was a struggle. Everything was difficult. And that's not because I was feeling sorry for myself, and that's not because I wasn't trying, right? But we have been through the shift. We've been through the flip. We are right side up again. So to take advantage of this, because this, since this eclipse, this next, I don't know, they say 3 months, but I really, like I said, these next 6 months, it's really setting up this, it's your blueprint, right, for your future, moving into the future. So it's a good time to just, and it feels good too to me, which is unusual, right, to dig in emotionally. There's a lot of this, we talked about this too, this heart kind of cracking open, exposing these emotions, but it feels so cathartic to release this. And to feel, this is the thing, when we would release in the past, we would feel like we were always backsliding again, right? Like, okay, that felt good. I achieved this level and now, and then we would feel like, oh, we kept dropping. And now it's just about bringing the light in and building. We're sweeping out, we're cleaning out, but we're not going through this very dramatic highs and lows kind of feeling that we were having in the past. It's much more stable. It doesn't maybe necessarily feel like that yet because a lot of us haven't quite found, sorry, I keep tripping on my words every time I look at myself. A lot of us are probably struggling, finding our footing, easing into this, relaxing into this, surrendering into this. And that is the sense I keep having, is like, wow, I can slow down, even though the energy actually feels like it's even moving faster than I am. I woke up today, so much energy, so much excitement, and it's again, it's everything that has been on my wish list, right? Almost like Christmas. But I've been keeping this list for like the last 6 or 7 years. But it's all just, whoosh, I can feel it all coming in. So I hope this journey is as exciting and entertaining and enlightening for you as it has been for me over these last few days. But definitely moving forward, really, really profound changes, really, really profound alignments and possibilities now that we are starting to see. So I just wanted to pop in with that quick message. Yes, emotional responses and triggers. When we are triggered and we start to feel this coming up within us, it's like, just take a breath, take a step back, and give it space. Allow the emotion some space to play out, because the reason that this always also continues to repattern itself in the same way is because we're allowing it to, it's like it has a life of its own, right? And we allow that life to play out with our consciousness through our humanness. Now, this is where we stop and we say no to the automatic response, and we give it space and time for the light to come in. And the light is reading these responses and these patterns. So this is this miraculous energy we've been waiting for. So just take a breath, take a step back, and see what you feel, and notice the shift in your own self. And that will be enough sometimes to even start to propel you, like, wow, I can really, it's not this whole formula and theory of how do I manifest a different life, right? It just is, because we are the light. We are this light mechanism that knows innately how to do this. The body is coming online. The body is adjusting to our understanding as a light being. That's what this internal integration and merge is really about. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. Take good care.